About 20 years ago, my sister decided to get married. And I am somewhat older than her, about 13, 14 years older than her. And she was marrying this young man who was a former football player and basketball player, and he was about 6'7", 6'8". And all his friends were the same size. And for his bachelor party, he decided he was going to start out by playing basketball. Now, I was about 15 years older than all these young men who, quite honestly, towered over me. But I'm a very competitive person, and I just can't not try to win a basketball game. So we went and broke up into teams of twos, and we decided to play 2-on-2, and my partner and I won the first game. And I ran around crazy like I was 25 years old, even though I wasn't. And at the end of it, I was kind of exhausted. And everybody knows how you hyperventilate a little. So I was hyperventilating at the end of the first game, and we went on to the side, and I sat down, took a breather, and was able to recover. The next game, we battled the next twosome, and wouldn't you know it, we won again. This time I went to the side, and it took me about 5 minutes to recover because I was doing the hyperventilating stuff. And then we had to go for the final. And we won, and it was great. But then I was hyperventilating. And I went to the side, and I laid down to try to recuperate, and I couldn't stop hyperventilating. I would... and it wouldn't stop. But I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. My brother was there, so I said to him, now we're going back to the house, and we're going to have a barbecue, and then we're going to go out tonight. Why we did this basketball game, I still don't know. It's the only time I went to a bachelor party, and it involved playing sports, but that's what these guys were. So I said to my brother, you go to the barbecue, and I'll go home, take a shower, calm down, and then come back. So I get in my car. Now I'm still hyperventilating. I get in my car and I drive home. Now, I drive by a hospital. I keep on going. Now I'm still hyperventilating. Now I don't know how many of you smoke, but when you go into coughing fits, if you're a smoker, sometimes the easiest way to stop coughing is to light up a cigarette. So I'm hyperventilating, driving down the road, and I decide, well, maybe a cigarette will calm me down. So I'm driving home. That didn't work. I drive by another hospital. Then I drive by another hospital, and I finally get home, and I'm still hyperventilating. And now I'm a little concerned. And my wife is getting ready to go out for the bachelorette party. Now, they didn't have any sporting event. But, so she's getting ready, and I walk in doing this. So I said, and I'm a little concerned now, and she's getting a little nervous, and then I decide I'm going to lay on the bed, and maybe that'll calm me down. So I'm laying on the bed, and she says, do you want me to call an ambulance? And I said, no, call the doctor, because we were in an HMO. And as you know, you've got to get prior approval to get medical services. So I had her call the doctor's office, figured there was a doctor on call. And she, in the middle of calling her, all of a sudden, the hyperventilating continued. But what happened is, you know how you get that tingling sensation in your arm when an arm falls asleep? Well, that happened to my entire body. My entire body was tingling as I was laying on the bed. And I said to her, I said, I think you better call 911. So she calls 911. A couple minutes go by, and the ambulance shows up, and these two people walk in, a man and a woman, and they see me go like that. And I think it was because of my size, where we were, they didn't want to put me in a stretcher and carry me. He says, well, you're just hyperventilating. Let's take you to the hospital. So he stands me up and walks me to the ambulance, and we're driving to the hospital, and he says, and I'm still tingling and everything. He gets me to the hospital. They wheel me into the emergency room, and this doctor walks in and I say, and goes through all, you know, hooks me up to all the things and stuff. And I look at him. I hate needles. I say to him, can I avoid getting a needle today? And he said, well, we may have to. And I said, well, what if all the tingling goes away? The minute I said that, all the tingling went away. It just stopped. And I said, it's gone. And he looked, and they were looking at the monitor while this was happening, and they went, oh my God, look. And I said to him, does this mean no needles? And he goes, well, no, I think we're going to have to do that. And I had sat up, and I just went right back down, and I went into a cardiac arrest, and my heart stopped. And the next thing I know, I'm wrestling. It felt like I was wrestling with someone. Apparently, they had to hit me with the paddles twice. And that's, I guess, what I was feeling. And I still remember, you know, they say things happen when this happens. The only thing I can remember seeing is something way up above me going like that. Jeez. And that's all I can remember is seeing that, like, stay down there, stay down there. And then I woke up. And now I've got 5 people around me. And I got two people, one person on each side, sticking needles in my arm, trying to get a vein. Because they want to give me a shot of what's called TPA, which is a big clot buster. But they can't do it till they get an IV in me, because once they give me the TPA, they can't give me any of the needles or I'll bleed out. So they're wrestling with it, and all of a sudden I hear someone say, we're going to have to try someplace other than his arm. And I don't know where they were headed, but I didn't want to know. And I yelled out, keep on trying the arms. And all of a sudden a nurse came in and took the there were 2 doctors trying to do it. A nurse came in, took the needle away from one of them, and sucked my hand and got it flowing. And then they gave me the shot of TPA. And I eventually recovered. But it was a unique experience. I never got to go to the bachelor party. Wow. But I survived. And that was 20 years ago.